and everybody's made mistakes, whether it be with credit, whether it be on a grade that you maybe didn't study hard enough for or whatever. And so I think there's too many people that end up making some mistakes like that, and then they lose all hope, and they just, okay, I'm never going to have good credit, or I'm never going to be an A student,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
so for me now, this program was designed so that Cassandra and other teachers that are as passionate as she is, come into real world environments in our hyper local community, business communities, and learn, so that she can show these children how what they're learning today is applicable into the real world.
Absolutely.
Howdy, friends, and welcome to the Allen Fairview Insider, the podcast where we dive deep into the heart of our community. I'm your host, Super Dave Quinn with Day One Experts, and I'm here to help bring you the latest and greatest from Allen and Fairview. From insightful interviews with our local leaders to exclusive updates on community events and developments, the Allen Fairview Insider is your go-to source for staying connected and informed. So whether you're at home or at work or on the move, let's get started and make the most of our time together.
Hello, and welcome to the Mortgage Mastery Series on the Allen Fairview Insider, where we simplify the mortgage process for you and your families. I'm your host, Joe Boggs with Highlands Residential Mortgage, and I'm here to help you navigate the complexities of mortgage in the Allen Fairview area. Each episode, we'll break down essential mortgage topics, from understanding rates to choosing the right home loan for you. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or looking to refinance, this series is your key to low-stress, smooth mortgage experience. So join us as we demystify the steps to securing your home in our community. In addition to just doing mortgage financing every day, being highly involved in the community, I have recently been involved with the iWork from the Texas Workforce Commission, and they partner with Allen ISD and other school districts as well. And what they do is they partner folks that are hyper local in our company, businesses that are hyper local, with the teachers to help them kind of better understand the businesses that are here, so that they can then utilize those experiences to pass along to the children that they're teaching, real world experience. And so one of the greatest things in my mortgage career is I've been involved in this externship. And so today my super duper special guest is going to be Cassandra, who's the extern that we've been together for the last couple of weeks. So Cassandra.
Hi, I'm Cassandra Pesina. Like Joe said, I applied for this externship, and truly it's meant to immerse your teachers in a real world environment. And the purpose is for me to take everything that I've learned, come back and create a lesson that's tied with our state standards, but also supports our students as a whole. We look at the whole child to support them, to see how can we merge the world of their academic environment with the real life environment that they are going to be experiencing, like they are experiencing now, just outside of our school bubble. So it's been very an invaluable experience for me to learn from Joe, to see what he does, to see his investment in the community, his love for the community. And I can tie that all together, frame it for my kids, and let them know you are a valued member of this community. And I'm going to, with our partnership, teach you how to take that outside of just our school bubble. So it's been very exciting. It's been very important. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I've learned so much. The past 5 years, there's been a lot of great research and development on how our kids are impacted by the connections they make between their school world and what you would term as the real world. If they struggle or if they have difficulty investing in their learning experience, it's because they don't see a connection between that and real life. What's going to carry over and what's going to help me become a successful adult? So, what I've been working on with Joe and what I've seen with Joe is how everything connects, what he expects from his clients and what he needs from them to help them be successful correspond directly with what your teachers need to provide for your students to serve them, so that they can understand and see, this is how I'm going to be a successful adult. It starts in the classroom, where we build those connections, where they build those parameters, and with their young brains learning, and specifically in ninth grade, they're testing limits, and they are learning skills like planning and prioritizing, it's right now that they are developing those connections, those planning and prioritizing that is going to help them when they are out of high school and learning to prioritize and plan for their future in short term and long term. So that's been very exciting for me. It validates what I know as an experienced teacher who wants to support your kids. And I think it's going to be great for our kids to have that connection like at their fingertips.
And it's been amazing because I know one of the things that you said from the start was, yes, I'm a mortgage guy, so I do loans for a living, but I do a few other things as well, being so heavily involved in the community. And so Cassandra's been able to go to like a Allen Fairview Chamber networking meeting with me. And that was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yes.
High energy, high excitement from a bunch of
gosh.
different businesses. And then I'm also highly active in the Collin County Area Association of Realtors. And so we do a monthly meeting here at our corporate office for them and typically have about 60 or 70 in attendance. And Cassandra got to come and help me with that and meet some good people, right?
Yes, it was incredible. Oh,
And
my goodness.
being that we're the only national mortgage company that is headquartered right here in Allen, we've also got to go around and everybody with an acronym. Cassandra's got to meet our CEO, our CFO, and kind of shadow them a little bit. So it's in addition to just learning about how to do mortgages, she's had the opportunity to learn really about one of our hyper local companies right here engaging with the community, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, when it comes to the mortgages thing, since we've got to spend a week together now, what would be your number one wow? What have you learned is the most important thing, or just something that really maybe you didn't know, but now you do, that you would tell other folks when they're thinking about getting a mortgage?
Oh, that would be two things I would say. The first and foremost is to get with your lender early. Get with them first, even if you're scared, even if you think you're not going to pre-qualify, even if you think you have no hope. Get with them at least a year in advance. Even if you think I'm never going to be ready, that's the time. That's the time to get with him. So, and what I've seen from Joe, he is incredibly invested and incredibly motivated with each and every customer. He takes care of them like their family. And I haven't seen things like that before. And I feel that maybe the community doesn't understand that that's who they're dealing with when they deal with Joe, who's part of Highland Mortgage, because it's about experience, right? You deal with other people who are just about the money. They quickly want to hear what you want. They want to get you through their system, and they want to get rid of you and move on to the next thing. That's not Joe, and that's not his company, and that's not his contacts. Being invited to the different events and seeing the people he works with, none of them are that way. So I would say number one, get with him. Even if you think you don't have a hope, don't worry about being treated poorly, because you're not going to be. You're going to be treated like family. And I would say the second thing is what I've seen about the credits. About it was very like explosive brain moment for me when I saw how late payments destroy and ruin a person's credits. Now, because Joe is a wizard with numbers and everything he does, he can strategize and help you. That's why you get with him early, strategize and help you. Here are the things that you need to do to heal your credit, and so that we can get you to the things that you need. Well, that directs specifically to our kids. It was a mind-blowing moment for me, not just as a person of the community, but as a teacher, because I'm looking at this and I'm like, what are our kids learning about their deadlines? And what are our kids learning in the school structure that helps them to prepare? Those, going back to what I said about skills for planning and prioritizing, plan and prioritize for your future by learning to consistently make payments on time. Now, are they making payments now as 14-year-olds? No, but they are. They're making payments towards their grades and their academics. They are learning those skills in a soft environment where teachers can come back and say, you know what, this was tough for you, but let me give you grace. But at least we are building those skills. And it was mind blowing to see how our kids need those skills, because they leave high school, and they've got to apply for a car loan. They've got to apply for they got to get a cell phone, right? They've got to apply for a house, a mortgage, or they've got to get with Joe to figure out what's going on. And if they have built the connections in their brain that say, hey, you can roll over this payment, or hey, you don't have to worry about this, no big deal, then that's the habits that they have built as young adults. which we all know is very, very difficult to break. And it's not something we want to do to our kids. It's not something we want to do to our community.
It's amazing because yes, that is one of my biggest pieces of advice is I like to give people, get with your mortgage lender way early, because most of the time we get a call, it's Friday night, they found the home, they're excited, they just need a pre-qualification letter so they can make an offer on this house. Well, at that point, we can either get them a loan or we can't. There's really not a whole lot we can do, right? And so getting with us early, you've got to see firsthand the tools that we use. I know that one of your aha moments is when someone had a paid off credit card and I showed them that if they added a $10 balance, it literally raised their score from 695 to 721 just by adding a balance. I remember the look on your face. You were like, wait a minute, you're asking them to actually charge something. And you learned that you really, what I do for a living in my day-to-day life is I'm a risk assessor.
Yes.
And if someone doesn't have a charge or a 30-day rollover, they're not extended credit. So they don't have any history of making their payments on time. So we do things like that. And the more that we can do that and duplicate that, the better that they can be when the time is right. So the best thing for a mortgage lender is when someone says, oh, we want to buy a house next year. Awesome. Now's when we need to talk, right? And show them how to optimize those things, because we teach a class that's called How to Optimize Your Buyer's Purchasing Power. And it shows that everybody knows that your interest rate is going to be impacted by your credit score. But what they don't understand most is that mortgage insurance is a massive difference between someone with a 620 score compared to a 720 score. Insurance, homeowners insurance. So if you couple those things in a payment, on a mortgage payment, that analysis shows you that someone, if they have the same amount of down payment, 5%, and they want a payment of, say, $3,000 a month, if they have a 620 score, that's going to be a $300,000 sales price. If they have a 720 score, that's going to be a $388,000 sales price to have the exact same monthly payment. So I'm glad that you picked up on that. And I love how you correlated that with your kids and their young minds and how they're impressionable now. And we even went far enough to talk about, my son, when he went to go buy his first vehicle on his own, he called me immediately and said, hey, Dad, I need you to co-sign. I go, no, you don't. Have him pull your credit. And they pulled his credit, and it was phenomenal. And the reason is when he was about 14, about your kid's age, right?
Yes.
I added him to a couple of my credit cards. He didn't know anything about it. I wasn't giving him a card, right? I was just giving him credit. And he got to piggyback off of my good credit and payment history. So therefore, when it was time for him to go get a vehicle that he was buying, he could qualify on his own because it showed an incredible payment history.
Howdy friends, Super Dave Quinn here. Thinking about expanding or relocating your business in Collin County? Come discover Fairview, Texas, a community with a prime location, great tax incentives, and an unbeatable quality of life. But don't just take my word for it. Tune in to the Getting Neighborly podcast to meet your future neighbors and hear why they believe Fairview is the perfect place to grow your business and to build your life. Visit us today at fairviewtexasedc.com. Thanks. Make it a great day.
And how incredible is it going to be for me to be able to share that with her kids? Another thing Joe's offered to do is to come talk with the kids. So it's not just, here's my teacher, great teacher. She's a teacher. What does she know? Saying this to me. Joe or one of his team members would come in and say that. You are building your credit right now, kiddos. Like you have the opportunity right now to really take off with your future, because we know that not all of our kids want to go the college route. It doesn't matter if you want to go college route or if you want to be in the brick and mortar or do whatever it is your passion is. You have a step up in the game. And that's the point, right? To build a strong community, you've got to give your kids a step up. And that's what that knowledge does.
You bet. And also it teaches them, I think, that failure is okay. It is, because we can use those credit analysis tools to show them, hey, here's somebody who made a mistake, right? Things happen, but let's show them how to supersede that by doing good stuff now on their credit to make the bad things less important. And the further in the past that they are, the lesser they begin to count against you, because we're trying to assess what their financial stability is right now. So something bad that happened 2 years ago, bad stuff happens to good people. It's not as important to us as risk assessors as if they made a late payment last week, right?
Yes.
And for you to correlate that with your kids and to show that we could even show them with these tools that, hey, look, here's somebody who made a mistake, right? Here's how we offset that. We extra credit, if you will.
That's
right.
right. Yeah.
We build better, higher quality credit that will begin to offset that and diminish the mistakes.
Mhm.
So,
And such a great lesson, because some of our with our advanced kids, they are terrified. We all know this. They're terrified to fail, and this shows them, look, even on a large scale that is terrifying, as long as you take the responsible steps, there will be people to help you. Find the people who help you. In school, it's your teachers. You've built that relationship. You've shown, look, here's what I'm capable of. I made a mistake. And that's the same here. And to be honest, as an adult, I didn't know that that was something that was offered to me. Someone who has had trouble with debt and has had in the past trouble with, poor credit scores. Sure, I I thought it was all me, climb out all by myself. I didn't know that there was people who knew so much. Again, a wizard is the only way to describe Joe, who will help you to get out of that. And for advanced kids, yeah, make the mistake, but look at our other kids, our general population kids who think and are being, with the struggle of some of their, environments at home. Maybe they have learned, I've got to do this myself, but they need to be told. The school environment is where they learn you don't have to do it yourself. We can help you. I'm going to give you the right tools to learn to be responsible. I'm going to teach you the way to make sure that you can stand on your own 2 feet. But look, out in the real world, you just need to know, go to that person, even if you're stressed, even if you're scared, even if you're, I would say, as an adult, I felt guilt and I felt shame. Put those things aside, get the help that you need. And that's what I guess the label we use for that in education is self-advocate. We teach our babies to self-advocate. And that's what this is, a real life, true connection that will help them and after school.
and everybody's made mistakes, whether it be with credit, whether it be on a grade that you maybe didn't study hard enough for or whatever. And so I think there's too many people that end up making some mistakes like that, and then they lose all hope, and they just, okay, I'm never going to have good credit, or I'm never going to be an A student, right?
Yes.
And so for me now, this program was designed so that Cassandra and other teachers that are as passionate as she is come into real world environments in our hyper local community, business communities, and learn, so that she can show these children how what they're learning today is applicable into the real world.
Absolutely.
My biggest wow was, they say that you learn by teaching. For mine, there's no way that you are being rewarded any more than I am by this experience. I mean, to be able to see you and the way that you're correlating this with these young minds is mind blowing. I'm just a mortgage guy, right? And to learn this from you and to see that it's never too early to start, I think has been just really awesome for me. I mean, this is the reason, I got really blessed, because I try to lead with a servant heart, right? And so I get involved in the community and the chamber and with the school districts, and thinking that I'm there to give. I get so much more in return. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of like tithing, you give a little and you get so much in return. Mm-hmm. So I can't say enough about this program. And who would have thought that someone like you and I, with completely different arenas that we work in, right, we could find a way to put those together and learn from each other. So I think
there's so much in common, so much that bleeds over into what our kids need. It's been an invaluable experience, and I've grown as a person. I know I've grown professionally just in this experience. Like as soon as I have a day that's ended with Joe, I go over my notes and I'm writing things down and I do further research. It's a nerd thing, sorry, but it's very exciting and it's very empowering, because I know this is what the kids need, and I know that they're hungry for it. I know that's where their investment comes in. And when you have kids who are invested in their school community, they're invested in the entire community. I mean, look at what Joe's doing. He's pulling himself and he's pulling his contacts in for our kids. I think that maybe what is so hard, and maybe what some districts are missing, is that link, the reciprocal investment. Kids need to see that the adults in their community care about them. People who they've never seen before, people who they don't know, come into their lives, take their time out and say, hey, Here's how I'm going to help you when you're done with this. Here's what you need to know now to help you when you're done with this. They need to see it. It needs to be, the worlds need to merge. The worlds need to merge. They need to see it as not two separate bubbles, but something holistic. And that's how you become a stronger community.
Absolutely. And the retention in our communities, if our teachers and staff can get pre-qualified to get a home and they live here, we all know it's difficult with school financing to give teachers raises that they well deserve. And so, but if they live here and they're invested here, it's a lot more difficult, I would say, for them to move elsewhere that might be paying a little bit more or whatever.
Mhm.
And so I really think that being engaged with the school districts is helping with retention. We need great teachers. Here's something I don't think I've shared with you yet, but the big meltdown was in 2008. We all know about the mortgage world. At that time, the average age of a loan officer was around 28 years old. It was easy money. Anybody who could fog a mirror could get a loan, right? So it wasn't hard. And then when the laws replaced that easy money with makes sense financing, it wasn't so easy anymore. And so the current age of a loan officer that I do in my day job right now is 55. So that shows you. Now here's the good with that is that now you've got seasoned veterans, and the only way that they survived that downturn was high integrity, doing the right thing. The others didn't make it, right? But the other thing is, okay, what about our next generation?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to do what I do if the average age of a loan officer is as old as me, right? We need that next generation. So starting with you and starting with the school districts, right? And hopefully developing some interest in what I do for a living, I feel like I'm obligated. I owe that back to our community.
Wow.
And so,
it's very true.
It's been wild, hasn't it? It's been really, I go home and tell my family, Cassandra and I did this today.
Yeah.
And so it's been such an incredible experience. Even my kids are like, Dad, you're a loan officer. Why are you so excited about, what you did today with the Allen ISD and the externship? And so it's been great. So if you're not highly entrenched in your local community, there's no way that we could encourage it anymore, because things like this can happen just by having servant leadership and getting involved in your community. So I've been really blessed to spend this time with you.
Same. I have to.
Well, we will continue because we have a few more hours that we're going to spend together, and we're going to go into the Mortgage 202 arena next to learn a little bit more. But I want to thank everybody there for tuning in to today's episode of the Mortgage Mastery series on the Allen Fairview Insider. We hope that you found this experience and some of the experiences that we're sharing with you, not only just about mortgage, but just about community and just about the things that you can do, whether you're getting a mortgage or not. If you can get more involved in your community, good things do happen if we're all working collectively together. So we'll have future guests that will appear on this show. We're always trying to bring you things of value that are very relevant, especially in the mortgage arena. If anything, we want you to know that there are mortgage folks out there that are approachable. They're not going to talk down to you or use a bunch of acronyms, because I can imagine if I went to your world and the acronyms that you use, I would feel like an idiot, right? And so there are mortgage companies out there that are not going to make you feel bad or be intimidated in any way, shape, or form. But Cassandra put it best. The best advice that we can give you on this podcast series is that get with a lender early. They can save you thousands upon thousands of dollars. And so it was nice to see that organically. I wanted to ask you what was the thing of value that you've learned from this. And I thought that might be an obvious answer because most people don't know that. But it was so nice to hear it from you without coaching or anything, so that we can share this with our community to get with your mortgage folks early. So, but please join in. We will continue to bring you advice like this, especially mortgage related. And remember that we're here to make your mortgage experience low stress, smooth, every step of the way. Whether I remember one conversation we had, actually I spent 12 years with some tenants of mine.
That's right.
We started getting them in a good shape, and then he lost his job, and then 3 years later we have him ready to buy a house again, and then something bad happened to him on his credit. And so we're here whether you're buying a house and need to get pre-qualified next week, next month, especially next year. That's the best time. So tune into us next time, and as we continue to unlock the secrets to successful homeownership in the Allen Fairview area. Hello, and welcome to the Mortgage Mastery series on the Allen Fairview Insider, where we simplify the mortgage process for you and your families. I'm your host, Joe Boggs with Highlands Residential Mortgage, and I'm here to help you navigate the complexities of mortgage in the Allen Fairview area. Each episode, we'll break down essential mortgage topics, from understanding rates to choosing the right home loan for you. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or looking to refinance, this series is your key to low-stress, smooth mortgage experience. So join us as we demystify the steps to securing your home in our community. In addition to just doing mortgage financing every day, being highly involved in the community, I have recently been involved with the iWork from the Texas Workforce Commission, and they partner with Allen ISD and other school districts as well. And what they do is they partner folks that are hyper-local in our company, businesses that are hyper-local, with the teachers to help them kind of better understand the businesses that are here, so that they can then utilize those experiences to pass along to the children that they're teaching real world experience. And so one of the greatest things in my mortgage career is I've been involved in this externship. And so today my super duper special guest is going to be Cassandra, the extern that we've been together for the last couple of weeks. So
Hi, I'm Cassandra Pesina. Like Joe said, I applied for this externship, and truly it's meant to immerse your teachers in a real world environment. And the purpose is for me to take everything that I've learned, come back and create a lesson that's tied with our state standards, but also supports our students as a whole. We look at the whole child to support them, to see how can we merge the world of their academic environment with the real life environment that they are going to be experiencing, like they are experiencing now just outside of our school bubble. So it's been very, very an invaluable experience for me to learn from Joe, to see what he does, to see his investment in the community, his love for the community. And I can tie that all together, frame it for my kids, and let them know you are a valued member of this community. And I'm going to, for partnership, teach you how to take that outside of just our school bubble. So it's been very exciting. It's been very important. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I've learned so much.
should be.
Thank you for tuning in to the Allen Fairview Insider, the official podcast of the Allen Fairview Chamber of Commerce. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and found the insights valuable. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you'll never miss an episode. Like and share this episode with your friends and family to help spread the word about our great communities. We appreciate your support and are excited to bring you more engaging content. I'm your host, Super Dave Quinn, thanking you on behalf of the Allen Fairview Chamber of Commerce for listening and reminding you to stay involved, stay informed, and keep making Allen and Fairview the best place to live in Texas.